success of this strategy in the recent Edo election, we must also critically examine the emerging risks and challenges that could threaten the security of the upcoming election here in Ondo State. We are here to engage in honest and constructive conversation on how we can constructively and collectively address this concern to protect the integrity of our electoral process. Just in the next 4 weeks, over 2 million registered voters are expected to hit various polling units to cast their vote. I want to express my profound gratitude to all of you who have made it to be part of this critical conversation. I must say that this conversation we are having today is being broadcast live on a national TV and all on the social media. I am happy that Ondo State is gathering, the whole world is watching and tracking the commitment we are going to make here today. I want to express my profound gratitude to all of you that have come to be part of this critical conversation. Your presence here demonstrates your unwavering commitment to peace and democracy. I also want to extend our special gratitude to FCDO for their continued support to make this event a success. We pray. Thank you all, and I look forward to a fruitful, productive summit. And God bless Ondo State. God bless Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, the Executive Director of Kimpact Development Initiative. We sincerely appreciate what Kimpact is doing. What I know about them is that they are results-based and data-driven. By the time we are leaving here, I can assure you we are going on with solutions, not with problems. So that's why these stakeholders are critical to what we are doing today. Ladies and gentlemen, please let me use this opportunity to welcome candidates that will participate. They're also one of the key stakeholders in the Saturday, November 16 governorship election right here in Ondo State. Let me recognize the presence of the governorship candidates of the People's Redemption Party, PRP, Babatunde Francis Ali. You're welcome, sir. Please, a round of applause for him. We sincerely appreciate. Also, the governorship candidate of the Zenith Labour Party, ZLP, is here, Dr. Abbas Mimiko. You're welcome, sir. We sincerely appreciate you. As soon as others are here, we're also going to recognize them. Let me quickly also recognize the presence of the Sector Commander, FRSC, Dr. Samuel A.I. Ibitoye. Thank you very much, sir. We sincerely appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at your agenda, we're moving to the welcome address. Now, let me use this opportunity to invite the CP, Abayomi Peter Oladipo, the Commissioner of Police, Ondo State Command, for his own welcome address. A round of applause for him, please, as he comes to the podium. Thank you very much, sir. We sincerely appreciate the doggedness. And so far, so good. Ondo State has been safe. We appreciate, and we are sure that come November 16, Ondo State is going to be more safer under your reign. That's something I'm very sure of. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, the anchorman. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Loki Orimison Aiyedatiwa, the Deputy Governor, Chief Olaide Owolabi Adelami, permit me to use the Deputy Governor as a point of contact for all state government functionaries here present. The heads of security agencies here present, our royal fathers, the Key Impact Development Initiative Team, / the Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, and other CSOs, religious leaders, the Resident Electoral Commissioner for Ondo State, panelists, Police Public Relations Committee, the chairman of participating political parties, local government chairman, organized labor, NURTW return, and in fact, the students' union associations, and the members of the press. It is my distinct honor to welcome you all to the Ondo State Peace and Security Summit, a crucial summit focused on ensuring a smooth and peaceful gubernatorial election slated for November 16, 2024. The summit arises from a pressing need for all stakeholders, especially our political parties, political gladiators, together under the same roof to voice their concerns and challenges openly. It also provides a platform to discuss the preparedness of the various government institutions responsible for the electoral process as mandated by the Electoral Act 2020 as amended. Reflecting on our past, we must acknowledge the challenges we have faced, ranging from accusation of misconduct, overzealous support from party members, and lapses in stakeholders' responsibilities. To avoid a repeat of this issue, open dialogue is essential, and that is the primary objective of this gathering. Since the electoral crisis of 1983, Ondo State has made concerted efforts to uphold the rules of engagement. However, challenges like political thuggery and voter apathy have persisted, and highlighting the need for ongoing vigilance and cooperation. As the lead security agencies, the police, in conjunction and collaboration with other sister agencies, have developed plans for a robust security arrangement to ensure law and order is being preserved throughout the election period, which is inclusive of the post-election period. I therefore urge all political parties to remember that we are united by our common purpose. Competing for leadership should not fracture our bonds. Our unity is far more significant than the outcome of elections. I encourage candidates to focus on issue-based campaigns rather than personal attacks. The authority to select the next governor of the state relies solely with the electorate, and I implore all contestants to embrace the spirit of sportsmanship, acknowledging that in a contest, not everyone can emerge victorious. To party leaders, I advise you to remind your members and supporters to exercise restraint during campaigns. Destruction of posters, billboards, and disruption of opponents' events are serious offenses and will be dealt with firmly. I also urge our teeming youth and supporters to resist becoming instrument of violence under the guise of political thuggery. Remember, those who engage in criminal activities will face the wrath of the law. For those who may feel wronged during the election period, I strongly encourage you to seek redress through the appropriate legal channels, such as election tribunals, rather than resorting to self-help. This summit aims not to only address grievances, but to build cooperative relationship among all stakeholders involved in the electoral process. The police and other safety and security agencies are committed to maintain high standard of professionalism, ensuring a fair and impartial election. Our personnel have received specialized training for election duties, and as I speak, the training is still ongoing. And we have engaged with other relevant organizations, including National Orientation Agency, INEC, and NYSC, to ensure that we fulfill our responsibilities effectively. While we do not anticipate to post violence during and after the election, we have proactively engaged operational orders to deal with such situation if it ever comes up. I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, MPM, PhD, for his unwavering support and guidance in ensuring a peaceful electoral process. As I speak, all the 36 states commissioners of police are in Abuja, but because of his zeal to ensure that the election process in Ondo State goes seamlessly, he excused me to be able to attend this forum. I want to extend my sincere appreciation to heads of safety and security agencies in the state for the collaboration and cooperation and synergy we share together. And that is why you can see all of them here seated. This speech will not be complete without appreciating my management team who are working assiduously to ensure that we have free and fair elections. The speech will not be complete also without appreciating all the political parties participating in this election for comportment and maturity displayed so far, while extending the command's gratitude to the good people and government of Ondo State. I do not intend to stretch this welcome address beyond limits, as our speakers will provide invaluable insight on their respective areas of expertise. I would also like to express my gratitude to our partners, particularly Impact Development Initiative, for their unwavering support in bringing this summit to fruition. I am confident that by the conclusion of this summit, we will have forged a stronger ties and among all stakeholders, reinforcing our collective commitment to a peaceful, democratic process. I want to also state our commitment to ensure that on the part of the security agencies, we would be very professional in carrying out our statutory responsibilities as envisaged under the Electoral Act. Thank you for listening. God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless Ondo State, popularly called Sunshine State. And God bless the Nigerian police. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. The CP, we most appreciate, and we like the resolve of the police. They are major stakeholder in ensuring that we have a safe election. Isn't it true? Yes, it is. Thank you once again, the CP. We appreciate your results are noticed, and your intelligence so far is well recognized, which includes your leadership qualities. Ladies and gentlemen, let's recognize some personalities here. Let me use the opportunity to say welcome to the I Chief, Lisa, the Lisa of Ileoluji Kingdom, Ileoluji I Chief Aki Fagbamiye. You're welcome, sir. We sincerely appreciate. Let's also recognize the presence of party chairmen who are here. Engineer Adi Timei is the chairman of APC in Ondo State. Let's also recognize Mr. Akinyo Jimmy, who is representing the chairman SDP. He's also the state secretary of the party right here in Ondo State. ZLP chairman is with us. Honorable Akintoye Cornelius, we appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming. Of course, you guys are critical stakeholders. Prince Adesonya Olaoluwa is the IPAC chairman on those states. You're recognized. Thank you very much for coming. Let's also recognize the deputy state secretary IPAC, also the chairman Action Alliance States, the Action Alliance State Chairman, Comrade Fred Akinuli. We recognize your presence. PRP Chairman is here with us, Oladile Oluwaseun. You're welcome, sir. We sincerely appreciate your presence. Dotun Ojon is YPP Chairman, is well seated. Also, Honorable Ola Deja Samuel Femi, Action Democratic Party ADP Chairman is with us. APGA Chairman is also seated. Evangelist Olatunde Dare, we sincerely appreciate your presence. Also, quickly, before we invite the Commandant NSCDC Ondo State for his welcome address, let's also recognize the presence of the Acting Director, National Reorientation Agency Ondo State, James Adekunle. We appreciate Yaga Africa. They are here. Chairperson Ondo State Coalition of Political Parties, Mr. Franklin Oloniju is also here with us. We appreciate. Thank you very much for coming. The State Chairman, National Union of Road Transport Workers, Ondo State NURTW, Comrade Ademola Odudu is here, ably represented by the State's Assistant Secretary of the NURTW Ondo State, Comrade Ogidengbe Ogumuyiwa. Thank you very much. At this junction, please let's invite, with a round of applause, the Commandant, NSCDC, Ondo State, CC Oluyemi Ibi Loye. Please jam your hands together for him as we welcome him to the podium. Thank you very much, sir. We sincerely appreciate your efforts so far in Ondo State.
Good afternoon, all. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Governor Lucky Orimison Ayedatiwa, who we're expecting to join us shortly, the Deputy Governor, Chief Olaide Owolabi Adelami, the Speaker, Right Honorable Olamide Oladiji, who we're also expecting to join us, the Secretary to the State Government, Honorable Tayo Oluwatui, the Police Commissioner, my big brother, CP Abayomi Oladipo, our Royal Fathers, Kimpact Development Initiative, members of the UK International Development, our religious leaders, resident electoral commissioner, all security agencies here represented, my colleagues, the service chiefs, political parties and their candidates, the local government chairman and organized labor, youth leaders, NURTW. Please permit me to just adopt all already established protocol. It is indeed a great pleasure to welcome you all to the Ondo State Election Peace and Security Summit towards the 2024 Ondo State governorship election, which is slated for Saturday, the 16th of November, 2024. Today marks not just another gathering, but a historical event where we come together with a shared purpose to discuss and foster peace and security geared towards free, fair, and a violence-free election. I wish to remind you all that the strength of our democracy lies in our ability to engage in dialogue. It lies in our readiness to listen, to share, and to collaborate as we navigate the complexities of our electoral processes. It is pertinent to state at this juncture that as security agencies, we would rather have a free, fair, and a violence-free election rather than mobilizing assets to deal with electoral violence, not just because it is rather expensive, but because it puts even our lives at risk and that of the innocent citizens of Ondo State. Remember, we're also human beings. It is as a result of the aforementioned that the Ondo State Commissioner of Police, CP Abayomi Oladipo, and I met and agreed that this peace summit is actually apt at this time. I wish to sincerely appreciate each and every one of you for making it a date with us and for committing to this process as we deliberate on how to make the forthcoming Ondo State gubernatorial election the best so far. That's actually our target. Let us take a moment to consider a powerful truth. Peace is not just the absence of disagreement. It is the presence of justice, understanding, and collaborating in the world that is often fragmented. We must ask ourselves what legacy we wish to leave for the generation coming behind us. Every election is a crossroad, a moment where our choice today will shape the society we build tomorrow. If we remain silent, complacent, passive, we are complicit in allowing fear and division to take root. But if we choose to engage, to advocate for peace, and to uphold this value of empathy and unity, we become the architects of a brighter future. Lastly, let me sincerely appreciate my boss and big brother, the Commissioner of Police, Ondo State Command, CP Ladi Abayomi, for his leadership role, Kimpact Development Initiative for believing in this project, the Ondo State Peace and Mediation Committee for spreading the word of peace, and the UK International Development Office for their support and making this summit a reality. Let us all embrace this opportunity to sow the seed of peace and security in Ondo State. Your Excellencies, service commanders, aspirants, representatives of political parties, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you and good afternoon.
Thank you very much, sir. We sincerely appreciate. Let's use this opportunity to recognize the presence of the TUC chairman in Ondo State, Comrade Clement Fatuashe. Also, let's recognize the IPAC treasurer who doubles as APM chairman, Elder Oloro Funsho Felix. Let's also recognize the youth leader, Social Democratic Party in Ondo State, Ranti Akinagbe. We sincerely appreciate you. Let's recognize the candidates of the AAC, Kunle Ajayi Wiseman. Thank you very much for coming. We sincerely appreciate. Gentlemen and ladies, if we take a look at your agenda, we're moving on so fast. Let's bring to the podium for his goodwill message, AIG Abiodun Ashabi, the Nigeria Police Force Zone 17 DIG. You're welcome, sir. Please, a round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen.
I wish to stand on the already established protocols, and the AIG is presently not available because he's on special duty out of station. He's in Abuja, and he has directed me to come and give to come and make sure to wish the KPI and the command a peaceful deliberation of during this process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We like the resolve of the DIG Abiodun, AIG Abiodun Ashabi. We sincerely appreciate the resolve. Thank you very much, sir. For the goodwill message as well, let's invite the DG or the representative, the DG of Akure and chairman on Ondo State Council of Obas, His Royal Majesty Oba Alade Toyimbo Ogolade Alade Lucy CFR Odundo II. And I think walking to the podium is Senior High Chief Shola Adegbonmire. He's a chairman Ondo State Peace and Mediation Working Committee, who is going to tell us the mind of the DG.
This is Akure, the Ondo State capital, and it's very important for KBC to be here. But one way or the other, you're busy. So I just so well, KBC has just called me now and said I should please tender his apology for not coming. He said he thought he would be able to be here, but when I told him that he's next now, and he said, so he wants me to tell you that he welcomes you, and he's saying that you should please He doesn't want any violence. He said I should greet all the service chiefs, that he enjoys your support. Even though he's using Gbetu, but sometimes Gbetu, yeah, won't fail you. So, but we want to thank all the service chiefs here who have been protecting us in Akure especially. And being the chairman of Ondo State Council of Obas, is appreciative of the fact that you have been keeping Ondo State safe since, and he wishes all us a good peace summit, and he says that he prays that we will have the election free, fair, and violence free. On this note, let me go. God bless you real good.
Thank you very much, sir. Sometimes I wonder, maybe Betu has a translation. Is it possible we can translate this Aichi? Betu, kini to my sir. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you told us the mind of the DG. Of course, the royal fathers are critical to a civil election. They can direct their followers to ensure that we have a violence-free election. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's recognize the representative of the chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Right Honorable Bakita Bello, also representing the party's candidates, Honorable Agbola Ajayi. The name of the representative is Barrister Olusheye Olujimi. He's the party's lawyer. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your presence here. Barrister Olusheye Olujimi, we appreciate you. Let's also recognize the chairman, Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities, Mr. Abiodun Samuel Olusegun, Ondo State Chapter. We appreciate you for coming, sir, for his goodwill message to be read by the Independent National Electoral Commission, Resident Electoral Commissioner right here in Ondo State, Mrs. Babalola Oluwatoyin. She's going to read to us the good message of the National Chairman, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakub. Please jam us together for the National Chairman, and also jam us together for INEC Rec in Ondo State, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Babalola. Thank you very much, ma. Articulate, bold, beautiful. You're welcome to the podium, ma. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Deputy Governor of Ondo State, the Commissioner of Police, Head of Security Agencies in Ondo State, leaders of political parties and candidates, civil society organizations, all other protocols duly observed. I stand before you this afternoon to present the goodwill message of the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. Is a lover of peace, and he would have loved to be here. We are currently involved in a lot of activities, and he has directed that I represent him at this summit. I'm honored and privileged to be here today at this crucial Election, Peace and Security Summit. I'm wearing two caps, that of the REC and the chairman of INEC. This gathering underscores our collective commitment to ensuring that the upcoming 2024 Ondo State governorship election remains an ideal of democracy, peace, and security. As we approach the forthcoming elections, we must reflect on the significance of maintaining peace and security throughout the electoral cycle. That's before, during and after the election. As we all know, election forms the bedrock of our democratic system that provides and guarantees fundamental rights of the electorate to choose their leaders. Ensuring a peaceful electoral process is not just a duty, but a collective responsibility that demands unwavering commitment from all stakeholders. The collaboration between the Nigerian police, KDI, and other organizers of this summit highlights the crucial role of partnership in promoting a secure and peaceful electoral environment. Allow me to emphasize that free, fair, credible, and inclusive election can only flourish in an atmosphere of peace. This underscores the critical importance of this summit at this time. It is no exaggeration to say that it's both timely and relevant, especially as we are preparing for the forthcoming Ondo State governorship election. Since independence, the stability of Nigeria's electoral process has been threatened by electoral violence, lawlessness, impunity, assassinations, and wanton destruction of lives and property. The return to civil rule since 1999 has particularly witnessed an escalation in the level of violence. To reduce this incidence of violence and its threats, as well as increase public confidence in the electoral process, INEC has built partnerships with relevant stakeholders to address the problem of insecurity in a planned and systemic way through its collaboration with security agencies via the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, ICES. The Commission also has its internal tools for mitigating electoral violence and risk, which we call Election Risk Management, ERM, Election Violence Mitigation Advocacy Tool, IVMAT. As we all know, elections can provoke negative sentiments and emotions, which, if unchecked, may escalate into open hostility and potential violence. This can instill fear in voters and ultimately discourage them from exercising their right to vote. It has been observed that off-cycle election in Nigeria has been inherently more challenging than general election. Because it's an off-cycle election, political actors have more opportunity to focus on human and material resources on the electoral process. So to ensure a peaceful 2024 Ondo State governorship election, I urge all political parties in the state, candidates, and their supporters to focus on issue-based campaigns and avoid rhetorics that will incite religious, ethnic, or tribal divisions. Political actors must also refrain from making public statements, declarations, or speeches that will incite violence at any stage, before, during, or after the election. Parties are expected to make their manifestos available to voters, allowing them to critically interrogate and evaluate the content so that they can make informed choices. As part of INEC's efforts in ensuring secured and peaceful environment for the election, the Commission, through its Electoral Institute, has commenced a training of election security personnel at the state and senatorial levels. We have had a series of engagements with the youth, encouraging them not to allow themselves to be used for any form of violent or negative purpose. I therefore urge stakeholders in the electoral process to continue to take proactive measures to prevent violence, embrace peace, to ensure smooth electoral process. This summit is an opportunity for us to build confidence, uphold transparency, and mitigate potential threats that could undermine the integrity of the electoral process to achieve peaceful electoral environment. Our actions must be guided by inclusivity and transparency. Every eligible voter in the state deserves the opportunity to participate freely and without fear. Therefore, as stakeholders, we need to implement robust voter education initiatives through dissemination of clear and accurate information to enable the electorate to make informed choices and maintain peace throughout the process. At INEC, we have made concerted efforts to engage with all segments of election stakeholders, such as security agencies, political parties, civil society groups, the youth, women, faith-based organizations, community-based organizations, and other organizations. We hold regular consultative meetings to keep them continuously involved of our activities as we approach the election. The purpose of this engagement is to ensure that all stakeholders approach the election with an informed perspective, thereby reducing or eliminating the risk of misinformation and disinformation that could threaten the peace of the electoral process. Before I conclude, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Impact Development Initiative, the Nigerian Police, and all other organizers of this summit that is supported by the UK International Development. Let us continue to collaborate closely to ensure the success of the upcoming election. I wish to reaffirm the commitment of INEC to conduct free, fair, credible, transparent, and inclusive election in a secure and peaceful environment. Together, we have the opportunity to create an environment where every vote and every voice is heard. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. The last part of that speech is critical. Thank you. Let me reintroduce the State Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. He is representing the party's chairman and also the candidate of the party. His name is Barrister Olushele Olujimi. Barrister Olushele Olujimi. Thank you very much, sir. We apologize for the miss-off earlier. Let's also quickly recognize the presence of the ADC chairman, Honorable Laide Rashid. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you for coming. Also, let's recognize the both party chairman, also IPAC secretary, Comrade Alex Adiniyi. We appreciate you for coming. The representative of the Nigerian Army is here, Major O.J. Okunaye. We appreciate you for coming, sir. NAS chairman and his members. And we have Comrade Oluwatobi Loba Joshua Olurotimi right here from NAS. Also NAOS, we have Honorable Ogedengbe Bamidele. NMPP is also here. NMPP State Vice Chairman and Financial Secretary. They are here. The name of the Vice Chairman is Honorable Akpata Adiola. Thank you very much for coming. And also the Financial Secretary, Comrade Wasil. Thank you very much. We have Form 1 also here, Muslim women. Please, ladies and gentlemen, on your feet, let's welcome and recognize the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Orimison Lucky Ayedatiwa. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you very much, sir. You came here right on time, sir. At the party, we're taking goodwill messages. And we're taking goodwill messages. And you came in right on time. So let's invite for his goodwill message the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky. All right. But before we do that, let's recognize the presence. Let's recognize the presence of the Young Progressive Party. The Deputy Governorship candidate is here with us. Right Honorable Ayodele John Obe. Also, the governorship candidate is also here with us, John Otitoloju Akimorule St. John. Thank you very much for coming. Also, let's recognize the presence of the governorship candidate of the Action Democratic Party, Honorable Akinodi Ayodeji. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. We sincerely appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to appreciate everyone. We understand that so far so good. We've seen the importance of this summit, and it is geared towards having a safe election come November 16, 2024. So far so good. The resolutions that we've listened to right here makes us happy and gives us the assurance that come November 16, Ondo State residents can come out en masse and vote for their preferred candidates. The results of INEC, the resolution coming from the security agencies gives us joy, and we are ready, of course, ready to participate in the upcoming election. Let's move on now. To bring on the high table or the podium for the seminar presentation. The title is Building Trust and Preventing Violence in Ondo State's 2024 governorship election, Key Strategies and Stakeholders' Roles. Once again, the title of that paper to be presented by Professor Adetunji Ogunyemi, economist, historian, lawyer, and affairs analyst, is Building Trust and Preventing Violence in Ondo State's 2024 governorship election, Key Strategies and Stakeholders' Roles. Let's bring to the podium Professor Adetunji Ogunyemi, please. He's from the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Let's jam our hands together once again, ladies and gentlemen, for him. We sincerely appreciate.
The Executive Governor of Ondo State, KBACs, and security agencies, fellow Nigerians. It is important first to establish this, and that is that everywhere, anywhere, at all times, that contestation for power and values are involved. There will always be conflictual interests, struggle for power, and the possibility of a riotous or tumultuous conflict amongst people. It is certain. The reason is that democracy does not promise a conflict-free society. In fact, democracy promises the exact reverse of what its definition pretends to show. Democracy is essentially conflictual,
totally riotous and can take away peace from any society. In fact, according to the professor of political economy, Toyin Falola, democracy necessarily whips up, encourages and excavates our social divides. It excavates our divisions in terms of religion, ethnicity, political affiliation, even gender. Democracy does not promise any society that will be conflict-free. A very good example is the presidential election that shall be held next month in the United States. I mean, it's one of the most democratic countries in the world. Yet, it is so tumultuously riotous. It encourages all manners of insults, including the presidential candidate in that country regarding and referring to his contestant as criminals. That's the nature of democracy. It encourages contestants to abuse, to disrespect, and to be disloyal. So, what behoves us is how we manage those conflicts. And that is why we are here. In fact, when it comes to the dividends of democracy, there is no promise by democracy for good economy. The dividends of democracy are not good roads, they are not good infrastructure. The dividends of democracy has nothing to do with good bridges, doing good schools. No. Because dictatorships do better. Better roads, dictatorships can do good economy, and examples have been found in Africa without number. A good example, Morocco, governed by a dictator, his name, Mohammed VI. No economy in the whole of North Africa, particularly in the Mediterranean seaboard, is better than that of Morocco. And the Moroccan economy in terms of the per capita income and capacity to be able to withstand and get out of poverty is 15 times better than that of Nigeria. Yet, Morocco is not democratic, and Nigeria is democratic. So what is in this democracy that we have decided to choose? And we chose it 25 years ago. What is in it? The dividends that we have decided to choose, and we prefer it to dictatorship, are just four. One, that it liberates the individual in terms of political choice. It makes him to be able to choose freely. Because freedom is the first rule in humanity. A man will prefer to be free, yet hungry, to being well-fed in enslavement. It is the first rule of human liberation. That's our reason. The second is that it allows for political participation. It allows for popular sovereignty, that is, the people shall be superior to their leaders. And periodic elections and respect for the fundamental rights of man. Period. These are the dividends of democracy. Not good roads. No. Because a dictator can do a good road too. So the evidence that the economy is good is not evidential of a good democracy. No. What democracy has as its infinite advantage that made Nigerians to choose it, either immediately after colonialism or now, since 1999, is its capacity for popular sovereignty, popular will, majority rule, respect for fundamental rights, and periodic elections. Full stop. So, when we now domicile it within the political system called Ondo State, one of the 36 states of the Federation, what are we contending with? These are the data. One, Ondo State has 18 local governments. And by September this year, the Resident Electoral Commission informed the world that there are 2,053,061 registered voters in this state. Now, these voters will go to and exercise tumultuously their choices. They will campaign for And the leaders and the representatives of candidates will also campaign for themselves using all manners of divisive tactics. All manners. We are in the north. You are in the south. It was the north that did it before. Now it has to be in the south. Oh, the north central. We will reach agreement with this north so that we will exclude the south. That's the language of democracy. And Nigerian politicians have exploited that infinitely since independence. In fact, in the year 1959, Awo did not govern the Western region more than 7 years. In the year 1959, the major sing-song of the Northern Progressive Union, as well as the NPC, the Northern People's Party, whatever, was that any Northerner who voted for a Christian was a kafiri. That was the sing-song. Any Northerner who voted for a Christian, a kafir, that is an unclean. In the South, today, the main catchphrase when people go to campaign is that the oil, our oil, belongs to us. The Nigerian state is using the oil to develop Abuja at our expense. That's the language. That's the language. In the North Central, particularly in Plateau State, the sing-song is about the we and the them amongst the pastoralists who had cattle along Barikin Ladi, Penshin, and Per up to the inner recesses of Wase in the same state. Therefore, exclude the pastoralists. They are not Birom. They are not in gas. They are not this. They are not that. Schism, division. That's democracy. That's democracy. How do we take democracy such that it does not infinitely divide us, destroy us, and take the beast out of us and distribute it liberally? It is, one, to respect fundamental rights. Two, to give room for civil society organizations to operate such that they could link the citizenry with good governance. And third, to do periodic elections such that the time we will do elections will be predictable. Not only just predictable, but that the civil society, together with the security agencies and law enforcers, shall cooperate amongst themselves to bring about a transparent election. Who are the stakeholders in any election, particularly in Ondo State? Who are the stakeholders? And we mean the key stakeholders. It is going to be very strange in an environment, especially in the Nigerian environment, where though we advertise ourselves as a republic, meaning that it is only by the instrumentality of public choices by ordinary citizens that we shall have leaders, and that our leaders shall not be got for us either by the reason of their family, inheritance, or by any reason concerning ancestry. We are a republic. But we are a republic of many royalties. See the contradiction? To have a republican system means there should be no royalty. Nobody should be Amirul Mu'minin. Nobody should be Ondo of Ife, etc., etc. But we have it. Doing any election in an environment that contradictory recognizes republicanism and monarchy is one of the most catastrophic things to do. To engage in this country for the reasons that they necessarily conflict. Yes. They conflict. So what do? It will be very strange to expect to have a peaceful election in Ile-Ife, where I live, without the Oni being significantly informed. Or the chiefs being significantly mobilized to ensure that during and after the election, crises do not ensue. Why? Because people tend to respect and defer to their traditional institutions in Nigeria than they do government. People respect their traditional institutions than they do government. So, they are critical stakeholders, security agents, INEC, political parties, contestants who are being fielded by their political parties, not a contestant that is contesting on social media. It's not one of the stakeholders who is voting on Twitter and is the one stoking dissension, stoking crisis within the state. In fact, in the last presidential election, one contestant in that election did not adduce a single evidence from the more than 176,000 polling units in Nigeria. And he was insisting that he won in those units. And not one single evidence to show. These Twitter winners in elections are advised to stay clear because they are not part of the contestants or critical stakeholders. Finally, the electorate, who shall vote? They are amongst, in fact, they are the greatest stakeholders in this system. So, the issues concerning free and trustworthy elections are 5 in Nigeria. 1, procedural regularity. Is the procedure regular? This concerns INEC. If the procedures are not irregular, no one can be hard to say that the election has been transparent. If there is any single irregularity in the procedure, it vitiates that election on grounds of that irregularity. Timeless apprehension of irregularities, therefore, becomes one of the ways by which INEC can prevent violence. To timelessly apprehend irregularity. To distribute election materials on time. And to ensure that they're both sensitive and insensitive. I wonder which election material is insensitive anyway. To distribute and ensure that sensitive and non-sensitive materials are distributed fairly. To prevent intimidation, suppression of vote, and vote merchandising. This falls squarely within the purview of the lead agency, the Nigeria Police Force, assisted by the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, to ensure that vote merchandising, buying and selling, even when politicians don't want to buy, you will see vote sellers say, come and buy my vote at 5,000. You can't rescue such a person from perdition, except if the security forces apprehend him and ensure that he's significantly prosecuted, because he's a criminal. Because it's not only politicians that are guilty of vote buying. There are vote merchandisers, vote sellers, and they should be apprehended. Managing candidate stronghold is one of the ways by which to avoid the problem of violence. Strongholds are places where a political contestant, can not just gain more votes, but instigate political apparatchiks to gain votes in excess of what the people actually voted. In other words, you read where you are strong. Whether it is where you are strong or not where you are very strong, it is illegality to stuff ballot boxes. A way of avoiding violence is to ensure that the security forces locate, manage very well the strongholds of the contestants, such that votes that are illegal do not find their way into the ballot box. Finally, we need to take into consideration, as a way of avoiding violence, the safety of INEC officials. Their safety is critical. They are not ready to commit suicide. I doubt if they are ready to commit suicide. So, If INEC officials will not be safe or feel that they are safe, the possibility of they being deployed to areas that are very tumultuous and riotous and accepting to work there, that possibility is very slim. Hence, it permits for unscrupulous politicians to rig endlessly and to stop votes in their favor. So, how do we, therefore, ensure that there is a trust in the system? I will identify three sets of people, three sets of stakeholders. The first is the security agents. Avoid colluding or abetting criminality. If a person votes who is not supposed to vote or does double voting, is a criminal. It's a criminal. No matter how rich, no matter how powerful, he should be apprehended. Avoid evidence tampering. To tamper with evidence, it has been shown that evidence tampering or mishandling by security agencies can vitiate an election, even though that election has been well done. Because when you go to the courts are only persuaded by evidence and facts. They are not persuaded by sweet words. So when those evidence are destroyed as a result of intervention or deliberate frustration by security agencies, elections cannot be said to be free and fair. Not divulging intelligence. As we have now, the elections about 30 days, the police are gathering intelligence. But granting or giving that intelligence to non-authorized persons is a frustration, in fact, a deliberate diminution in the powers of the police and the authority given them. So, they should ensure that intelligence is not divulged to unauthorized persons. Finally, avoid double agency. Supporting a particular political party or candidate against the Federation, against the Electoral Act, is double agency. The media are actually the nucleus. When it comes to avoiding electoral violence, the media are at the nucleus of it. Why? Because when they sensationally report, particularly when they report the opinion of the media owner, the opinion of the media owner. I know the medium is the message. But when you report the opinion of the broadcaster or the media owner, as if it is the truth, as if it is the fact, it's criminality. The National Broadcasting Commission ought to sanction such a media or such a medium of expression very harshly to prevent other people from following suit. Non-professional coverage, preparing or refraining from announcing or broadcasting election results before they are announced by INEC. You should desist from reporting media owners and their opinions as if it is the truth, and then using hearsay evidence as news item. There are so many news media in Lagos. They use mere hearsay evidence and they broadcast it as what is happening within the electoral system. It is subversive and should be avoided. Contestants themselves, no contestant should use thugs as agents. I know you cannot avoid using thugs. I know politicians cannot avoid using thugs. A thug is he, no matter what. A thug is he who will not obey the law in the electoral process. It does not matter his name, his title, his age. He's a thug. Refraining from vote merchandising, congratulating the winner, or accepting defeat, even when election results are yet to be announced, is one of the ways of ensuring that there is no violence. When your supporters know that you have even considered, when you look at the tapestry of election results coming from the field, the situation room reports to you and say, you have lost in 12 local governments. How can you therefore be insisting that until you see the final result in the 18th? You've lost, you've lost. Pick your phone, call. I congratulate you, ABCD, for having done this election. And I look forward to you factoring into the calculus my view in the governing of this state. That's one of the ways of avoiding crisis. Your followers immediately follow suit and they will respect the system. Finally, be magnanimous in victory. let the winner call on the defeated to join him in building the state and ensuring development for the people. I thank you so much. I wish you well.
Thank you very much, Prof. I'm not so sure 2 hours will be okay for you. Thank you very much. We appreciate those detailed information, and these are things that we are going to take notes and utilize, particularly on the part of media. We sincerely appreciate. Let's introduce to you one of the major organizers of this program. They are the Ondo State Peace Mediation Working Committee. They are here to ensure there is peace. They are people who are creme de la creme of our society, who can put a call through to any of these contestants and tell them to tone down the ongoing conversations if it is leading to violence. We've introduced to you the chairman of the committee before, but let's quickly move forward to introduce to you members of the working committee. The CAN chairman, Very Reverend Father Sorry, let's go straight to other members of the working committee. Alhaji Sheikh Abdul Karim Yayi Akorede. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. Also, is the chief imam of Akure Kingdom. Let's also recognize the presence, one of the members of the working committee, the immediate chairman, MBA Akure, Barrister Banjo Ayenaki. We appreciate you. The chairman, AUJ, is also there in the working committee, Prince Leke Adegbite, the Yaloja General, Chief Princess Adenike Aroloye is also part of the working committee. The CAN chairman, Reverend Father Asem Ologunwa, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. Praise the Lord. Thank you very much, sir. Alhaji Medinat Omikunle, former president, is also part of the working committee. Mrs. Bamboye Folashade is a committee secretary. Also, Jonathan Obatola is a lead monitor, KDI, and is part of the working committee. With no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please, with a round of applause, let's bring to the podium the executive governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Orimison Ayedatua, is going to come here for his goodwill message. Sir, sometimes I'm happy to introduce my name. My name is Promise Inumison. Somehow close to your name. And happy sometimes to introduce myself. We appreciate you as we welcome the governor.
Let us be seated. Thank you. Let me quickly recognize all of us have been invited here for this meeting. Everyone is very, very important. I would have just said I'm adopting the protocol that has been established, which I have to do, because I don't know the name of every one of you, but not to miss out anyone. So I adopt the long list of protocol. But I'll just recognize few people that I can see from here. You can see that I'm also wearing glasses. So let me acknowledge the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Dr. Laide Adelami Menai. You are recognized. All other members of the State Executive Council that are here. Let me use the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice as a point of contact to all other Executive Council members that are here. Let me also acknowledge the chairman of INEC, even though he's not here in person, but I'll use the state rec as a point of contact. Mrs. Oluwatoyin Babalola, Resident Electoral Commissioner for Ondo State. Let me also acknowledge the Coordinator of State NYC Ondo State, Mrs. Kuburat Bakari. I recognize you. The guest speaker, Professor Adetunji Ogunyemi, thank you for the presentation. Let me also acknowledge all the head of security agencies that are here, the Commissioner of Police, the Commandant Civil Defense Corps, the Immigration, the Customs, the Road Safety Corps, the Fire Service, the Correctional Centers, all of you, the DSS and NIA, DIA, I recognize every one of you. Let me also acknowledge all our traditional rulers that are here, the Asai of Akure land, and the Lisa of Ilolujo Kegbo. When the name of the members of the committee were being mentioned, I heard about Chief Imam of Akure, but I can't see him from where I'm standing. Okay, I can see him. Alhaji Yaya Akode, I recognize you. The chairman of CAN, Reverend Father Ansem Ologunwa, I recognize you. All religious leaders that are here, both the Christian faithfuls and Muslim faithfuls, I recognize every one of you. The press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me quickly acknowledge and thank the organizers of this event. Kimpact Development Initiatives, KDI, in collaboration with United Kingdom International Development and other stakeholders, the security agencies and the Ondo State Peace Mediating Working Committee. I want to thank you for putting this meeting together to create awareness and educate our people the importance of peace, especially in a time like this, when if we do not carefully manage the times that we are in, it could snowball into violence and peace will be threatened. But by this meeting, we're trying to educate our people importance of peace so that we can avoid it. And from what the guest speaker also listed during his presentation, issues of factors that can actually threaten our peace, that will create violence during election. And he mentioned a couple of them, from the institution itself, that will be the umpire, that they have to be unbiased, the security agencies, they have to be professional in their dealings, the individual candidate also should be able to embrace peace and be transparent and shun hate campaign or hate speakings. And then the thugs, political thugs, and all of these were mentioned, so many of them. These are factors that really and truly, if we do not manage properly, can also create violence during election. Yes, it is true that it's often said that there is no election that is 100% free and fair. But I want to tell you, in Ondo State, apart from 1983, where we have major crises during elections, all the other elections we'll be having in Ondo State have been adjudged to be peaceful, free, and fair. And this very election will not be an exception. As government or as party in power, we will ensure that we comport ourselves during our campaigns, allow level playing ground for all the political parties to have their space to talk about what they want to do for the good people of Ondo State. It is not hate talk. It is not blackmailing. We are not blackmailing anybody. We're only going out there to tell the people who we are and what we have been doing for the people. And the people have demonstrated love by coming out en masse to give us that support. And all of this can be verified. I just want to plead with all of us, in line with the guest speaker, those issues and factors that were mentioned, we should shun them. The umpire should be above board, be transparent, should be unbiased. The police should be professional. The only people that we don't see that we can talk to now were a group of people that was mentioned by the guest speaker. Those aspirants on social media, we don't see them, and they cause most problems. I don't know how we can get through to them, but if you know them, help me to tell them they should stop blackmailing, they should discuss issues that will bring about development to the people they want to govern. They create more problems than they solve. We will try as much as possible to encourage our people. We don't need thugs. And let me also mention this here, that even the Amotekun Corps, which is our homegrown security outfit, have never been used during election in Ondo State. We have never. They stay behind like every other normal citizen in civilian uniform. And you will never trace any, pocket of misconduct in some of the units, because I'm not going to tell you that that will not happen, because on that day, I will even do as a governor, I'm not allowed to go with security personnel carrying gun to my polling unit. I will go there like ordinary citizen to cast my vote. And I will be at my polling unit on that day. So I will not be able to tell what might be happening in some other units, in other local governments. So the police are there to do all of that. So I want to encourage all candidates of all the political parties to maintain peace, to be transparent. Let their voice be heard. Let them speak to the people. They will listen. We will encourage issue-based campaign, devoid of hate speech. We will not divide our people through propaganda. And you know all of these, those of you that are here. A few days ago, those who believe in hate speech and propaganda and blackmail, you read or you saw a video that was circulated to blackmail my person as the governor of Ondo State. Those are the kind of things they do. But you all know that that is not me. Ondo State people replied them. I just look at them and I laugh. They look at them and say, this is not our governor. We know who our governor is. And for those of you who are here, who might not have seen me physically before, this is me. Do I look at that person? I don't have a gap teeth up and down. I have a black mole on my face. My beard is different from his. So those are the kind of things they try to push out to discredit to create problems, but on our part, we embrace peace. We are peaceful people. Ondo State have been adjudged to be one of the safest and most peaceful states in Nigeria. We will keep that status even during elections. Now, the education is very important, and that is exactly what we are doing. I know in the days ahead, we are still going to sign peace accord. Fortunately, I don't know how many political parties that are represented here that need to hear this and take it back to their supporters and members of their political party. For us, I'm here. The chairman of my party is also here. We work together, and a lot of my critical stakeholders in my party leaders, who will be at their various local governments on that day to talk to our people, to obey the rules and regulations, to go by the rules so that there can be peace during and after the election. Professor, thank you so much for those factors that were enumerated. We will try, we have been abiding by that. That is why our campaigns have been issue-based. We only tell the people what we have been doing. We are not promising them, what we cannot do. The only thing we are telling them is that the one we are doing, we will continue to improve on them by restructuring our budget for next year, because the budget we are running this year, not that I'm trying to campaign. If I'm doing that, I'm allowed to do it because I have the floor. What we are telling our people is we will restructure our budget to perform better next year. And they know what we are doing currently. The various interventions we have brought to governance since I came on board 10 months ago. A lot of changes have come into governance, and the people are happy. I don't need to run that campaign here. You can read them, our KBCs, the Chief Imam, they all know what we are doing across board. We are religiously tolerant in Ondo State. We embrace ourselves. There is no religious crisis in Ondo State. Our people are peaceful people. We are loving people. And like I said, the incident of 1983 are taught of lesson during elections. So we don't want a repeat of that. That is why we put every measure in place to ensure that our elections are violence-free and peaceful. So once again, I want to thank you, the organizers of this event, for this wonderful work you've put together. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much. A round of applause again for the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Orimison. Your dedication and resolve give us joy, and we're happy that November 16, 2024 is going to be peaceful, violence-free, rancor-free at the end of the day. The results are what Ondo State people will keep to mind. Thank you once again, the Executive Governor. With no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if you check the agenda, we're going to the keynote address. And this will be delivered by the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and this speech will be read by the Chairman of Ondo State Peace and Mediation Working Committee, Senior High Chief Shola Adegbomire. Once again, sir, and using that opportunity, let's quickly recognize the Chairman, Coalition, and civil society organizations in Ondo State, and the convener, Situation Room, Mr. Franklin Olondiju. We use him as a point of call to greet other CSOs present in this occasion.
Thank you very much. People are looking at me. They thought I would fall down there. The president will not fall. The other time I was standing here as chairman. The other time I was standing in for DG of Akure. Now is the turn of the former President, Goodluck Jonathan. Goodwill message by His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, 2010-2015, at the Ondo State Peace and Security Summit, jointly organized by the Nigerian Police Force and NCSDC on October 15, 2024. I want to greet all the party chairmen who are here. I was going to say that I bring greetings from Mama Peace, but that's allowed too. Party candidates, the governor of Ondo State, I want to greet you too, the deputy governor, all the service chiefs that are here. This is Shola Adegwomire, but this is now the speech of the President, the President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Distinguished guests, esteemed leaders and fellow Nigerians, I am honored to send this goodwill message to Ondo State Peace and Security Summit, being jointly organized by the Nigerian Police and NCDC and KDI, ahead of the state's scheduled governorship election. As we gather to promote peace and security in Ondo State, I urge all stakeholders to prioritize the well-being and safety of our citizens. The importance of peaceful elections cannot be overstated, and I commend your effort to ensure a secure environment for all. Like I always say, the credibility and peace of every election depends principally on the transparency and impartiality of the election management body and the security authorities, both of whom are the legally authorized managers of elections. That is why I am glad that this summit focusing on the security and peace of the coming election in Ondo State is being organized by the police and civil defense. For me, this is an indication that those managing elections getting ready to do it. Let us all commit to doing the right thing as a way of making our elections more credible and deepening the roots of our democracy. We can no longer afford to continue to hold elections that not only fail integrity tests, but also rank below the standard that has been attained by many countries, even in the West African sub-region. I call on all the political parties, candidates and supporters to commit to the principles of inclusive participation, non-violence and transparency, which are the gold standard free and fair elections. Let us all work together to strengthen our democracy and ensure a brighter future for Ondo State and for our country. I therefore wish you all a fruitful deliberations at this Peace and Security Summit. I thank you all. This is now Shola Adegwomire. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. I Chief Shola Adegwomire, for bringing to us the mind of His Excellency, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Ladies and gentlemen, let's recognize the presence of the Chairman, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ondo State Council, Prince Leke Adegbite, represented by the State Secretary, Olaoluwa Meshak. Also, we recognize the International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, Ondo State Branch, and the Vice Chairperson is with us, Alhaji Kudirat Badamosi, and also the Treasurer is also she's also with us, Mrs. Yetunde Ademigoke. We appreciate you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, we've gotten to the most interesting part of the summit. If you check your agenda, is a panel discussion. And this particular part is going to be moderated by my colleague, Damilola Taiwo. She is the head of programs, Crest FM, 106.1 FM, Ondo State. Please pay attention.
Thank you very much, Promise. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocols already established. We have gotten to a very important part of this summit, and we'll be having a panel session. It's just for 20 minutes. We'll be having a conversation with people who we consider stakeholders, all of those people that our guest speaker, Professor Ogunyemi, have mentioned, all those people that the governor of Ondo State, the executive governor, His Excellency, Governor Lucky Orimisoaidatiwa, all of those people who he has sent his message to, and everyone represented here, our stakeholders here. I'll be inviting to join me on the podium. If you check your agenda, we have 5 panelists, but we'll be taking only 4 because one of the panelists is unavoidably absent. So joining me on the podium here, please join me as I welcome Alhaji Sheikh Dr. Abdullah Kim Yayi Akorede, the Chief Imam of Akure. A round of applause for him as he makes his way to the stage. And just after him, the very Reverend Father Ansem Ologunwa, the Chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Ondo State. And coming up next, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Babalola, the Resident Electoral Commissioner, Independent National Electoral Commission. And to join us on this panel again, the chairperson, Ondo State Coalition of Civil Society Organizations, Franklin Oloniju. I've just been informed that to join this panel, okay, makes it very interesting. Ahead of one of the key security agencies involved in the electoral process, the Commissioner of Police, Ondo State Command, CP Abayomi Peter Oladipo. A round of applause for him as he makes his way to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, elections should be a celebration of democracy, like they say, but we have threats of violence. And so our theme for this panel will just be here for about 20 minutes, mitigating electoral violence through stakeholders' commitment. It's a call to all of us that the responsibility of ensuring peaceful election before, during, and after election is for all of us, and that is why we are having this conversation. Each panelist has only 4 minutes, so it means that we'll be giving you whatever you get from us or whatever you get from them would be their best thoughts. My name is Oluwadamilola Taiwo, Head of Programs, Crest 106.1 FM, Akure. My first question, I'll be starting right here. The Chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Very Reverend Father Ansem Ologunwa. Now, we are in a place where when people talk about religion, when people talk about politics, there are a whole lot of people who think religion and politics do not mix. So, Father, this is for you. What is the moral obligation of religious leaders when political candidates use inflammatory rhetoric that could incite violence?
First of all, I want to thank all our participants and then the aspirants of the governorship election that is coming up in our state, and thank the KDI for this opportunity. We just have to understand the fact that peace is the key word in our lives. And our Lord Jesus Christ emphasized this peace. And even for the peace to reign, and the importance of peace to reign is the fact that we are together. We need to work together. And that is the key point, the key areas in which we all have to just work together for. And we are calling on in the churches, in everywhere, to make sure that this peace reigns. These are the key roles that we need to emphasize. And I thank the KDI too that have been doing that. And I thank our governor who said, during his own speech, we need this peace. The key role of every one of us, the religious leaders, the political leaders, is to make sure that there is peace. And I pray for this peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much. He stayed within time. If we have enough time, we still have a follow-up question for you. Moving to Alhaji Sheikh Dr. Abdulhakeem Yahya Akorede, the Chief Imam of Akure. Sir, how do you strike a balance between remaining neutral, because we know as the head of religious institution, people expect that sometimes when it comes to politics, you're supposed to stay neutral. But how do you maintain a balance between being neutral and condemning harmful actions that could lead to political violence?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I want to thank the KDI for this opportunity given to us. Mr. Governor, you are welcome to this gathering and everybody present here this afternoon. Peace is very, very important in human life. Without peace, there is nothing can be done. Even if we are not talking about religion, personally, for individual, we need peace. And as a matter of religion, the Muslims, anywhere that you want to enter to, the first thing that you must say is Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum means peace be unto you. That shows that without peace, without mentioning that Assalamu alaikum, you cannot never allow to enter into that place. We, the religious leaders, we are seriously working with the political leaders. And we believe that we are the intermediary between the people outside there and the government, which we are trying to make peace between the people outside and the government. And we are trying our own path to make sure that there is peace in our environment. Even before the period of election at all, we always preach the peace for our people, to let them realize that without peace, there's nothing we can do. Now, if you look at it very clearly, Ondo State here, the Muslims are doing their part. The governor is here. I thank God that our governor is here. He knows what I'm talking about. Muslims in this state allow peace, and we are working towards it. If not that, you will see the violence here and there. Because in a state where you see the governor, deputy governor, SSG, chief of staff, head of service, and so on and so forth, all of them are Christians, and we are still the pattern of them. That shows that we are maintaining peace with them. So for that, in our own part, we are doing what belongs to us. But I want every one of us to believe that we must believe that there is accountability for God. Thanks so much, and God bless you.
Amen. Thank you very much. We move next to the Commissioner of Police in Ondo State, CP Abayomi. Your question is very straightforward. Now, given the history of election-related violence in some parts of Ondo State, what specific actions are being taken this time to identify and prevent these hotspots from escalating again?
Okay, thank you very much. On our own part, as the lead agency in internal security and election security management, in conjunction with other security agencies in the state, we have done security assessments and threat assessment of the various areas. And also, we have started gathering intelligence on people who have record of toxicity in the state, who are capable of creating crises. And beyond that, the security agencies in the state have come together to do joint deployment, joint patrols to ensure that those areas that have potentials for violence are promptly taken care of. And we have come to the realization of the fact that most of these violence cannot be done with clear eyes. Some are motivated by use of drugs. We are working with NDLE to ensure that those areas where such substances are being dispensed are being monitored with a view to get the brains behind the distribution. I can tell you that this is an off-cycle election, and that police have the luxury of enough security, both personnel and logistics, to deploy to ensure that the good people of the state move freely to conduct the voting, and of course the INEC, that election is their baby, that will protect the election umpires and their materials. We are more than ready for the 16th November elections. I want to put on record that the political gladiators and the elites within the state should talk to their foot soldiers and let them know that violence will not do us any good. And unfortunately, most of these individuals that embark on thuggery, they are not even without voters' card, so they have no political value. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, a round of applause for him, please. That's a very strong note of warning, and in the same, while speaking, gives some sense of assurance. Moving to the civil society organizations, Mr. Franklin Oloniju. One challenge in mitigating electoral violence is the issue of trust between the public, the political actor, and institutions. How are you working to rebuild and strengthen their trust to ensure that all stakeholders commit to peaceful elections?
Well, thank you very much. That's a very interesting question. And when you talk about trust, it's a big one. You know, the relationship between the government, the elected leader and the government, should be based on trust. I mean, in time of you being there to provide some of those things that we need as citizens to really better our lives. That's the essence why they are elected. So meeting those aspirations is key in deciding the issues around electoral victory. People must be able to trust an aspirant with their lives. And so for us, when we go to the field, we are open to encouraging citizens and voters to be able to decide who they are going to be voting for, and based on a lot of criteria that we are able to, enunciate when we are going to the field. And these are issues around disposition to peaceful peace, as in the demeanor of those individuals, their character. And these are things that we promote when we go to the field, and that this should be the basis for electing their leaders in terms of how well they've seen this person as a leader that can be trusted with a mandate. But you must also understand that the driver within the communities are many in terms of their choices. So we also encourage political actors to also directly engage the process by themselves and be able to sell their agenda and their manifestos to the people. We thank God that we're happy that the political parties have started their campaign, and to that is a relief to a lot of us. And so, because we are umpire that we are not supposed to be partisan, so we have to balance our message to be able to make sure that we are not seen to be promoting one candidate against the other. But basically, for us, it's to be able to conscientize the communities and the voters to understand that whatever their choice is going to be for 4 years, and they need to be careful in exercising their franchise and not be deceived by the rhetorics and of gladiators, and they should shun violence. They should not encourage them to be swayed by violence. And for us, as civil society, there are a lot of preparatory that we do in terms of when it comes to election. We train even the community on how to vote. We train observers to be able to be there to see that the processes are going fine. Sometimes we even train the party agents. We train the police in some measures. So those are a lot of activities that are surrounding our intervention when it comes to election and within the community.
All right, thank you very much. That's a profound one there from the representative of the civil society organizations in Ondo. Please be informed that in the next few minutes, we'll be having a demonstration of commitment to peaceful elections by the heads of political parties, of course, their candidates that are present here. That will be done by the Commissioner of Police and the Commandant of the NSCDC in Ondo State. We'll get to that in a moment. But moving to INEC. Okay, for the Commissioner of Police, please, we would like to invite to the podium the Commandant of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Commandant Ibiloye, please, and all the party candidates who are here. Commitment to peace, demonstration to peace, as we have in the agenda, CC Oluyemi Ibiloye, and the CP, the Commissioner of Police, the two security heads will be handling this session. Before we move to INEC, that we will say all eyes on them, the body saddled with the responsibility of election in Nigeria. Please, the Commandant of NSCDC, please. Oh, sorry. Thank you very much. Please, a demonstration of commitment to peace by all party candidates present.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ondo State, the Deputy Governor, my colleagues, and all distinguished invitees. We would like to call on all the representatives of the political parties and the aspirant as well to make a verbal commitment to this cause. So please, let's have the representative of the political parties, please. Where are the representatives? Okay, I've just been told that they want to be invited one after the other. So can we have the representative of Zenith Labour Party?
Let's have the representative of the APC join us for the verbal declaration to commitment. Oh, okay, the representative of the ZLP is here with us. Dr. Lubanshile Abbas Miko is with us for the commitment.
I greet the governor of Ondo State, Your Excellency Lucky Orimisa Ayedatiwa. And I use you as a point of contact to all government functionaries in the house. And I greet our royal fathers, I greet our service chiefs, I greet my fathers in the Lord, my Imam, I greet my indomitable wreck, who's been above board in Ondo State. When we talk about fairness and justice, I think it is a summit of candidates, political parties. Our amiable governor spoke for 20 minutes. We were given 0 minutes to talk. So that is at the crux of the matter. If you are looking for peace, you must give justice. If you don't have justice, justice is the minimal requirement for peace and fairness. Our fathers in the house, our fathers in the Lord, our imams. I expected our governor whom we elected to come sit with us. With the security apparatus can come with him because we're all contesting. You made it look like an APC event. And we are committed to peace. We are committed to peace. And I know the service chiefs are committed to peace. I know our imams, our Lord bishops, and our camp presidents, they are all committed to peace. I know our resident electoral commissioner is totally committed to fairness in this game. My question will be, before I commit to any peace, the last election I had this personal experience, and this is to my CP, who's been of sterling qualities in Ondo State. We saw a man, a police officer, in an election in a polling unit, and they were distributing money, see and buy, which is against the Electoral Act that all of us know. And we went to him, Oga Olopa, then stop you, make you distribute your own. I say it's a personal experience. I'm not saying every police officer is like that, and I definitely know that our CP doesn't condone. So how do we put the measures in place for instances like that? It's on our service chiefs. Once there is peaceful, free and fair election, whoever wins, I will be the first to congratulate that person. And if I win, I will expect everybody to congratulate me as well. So I'm 100% committed to peace. Zenith Labour Party is committed to peace. And thank you very much for this summit.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Next, I'll call on the candidate of PDP. Candidate of PDP or the representative of PDP. I've just been told that the candidate is represented by the PDP secretary.
Thank you very much. Let me stand on the existing protocol. Your Excellency, the Governor of Ondo State, my apology, I just had to rush in because I was trying to attend to one administrative job outside. As we all agree that today is our flag off. Subject to empirical proof, we all know our GOG, the whole town haste. Now, let me say this. Let me commend the organizers of this program. because I will say it's a round peg in a round hole. Even though PDP as a party, we are committed to that which we all know to be peaceful, as the case may be. We are not new to things like this. But the fact still remains that we must commend the organizers. Having said that, we all know that Ondo State, the Sunshine State, is a peaceful state. But we as major political stakeholders, we must take home to our followers. I love what the guest speaker said the other time when he was trying to say, give a kind of definition to who a thug is. I love the way he was able to color it. It means that even an average professor who has done that which is not in tantamount with that which he has been sent to do by the INEC is a thug. It means that an average individual not following the instruction given to him or that which he ought to do on the election day is a thug. Then who are the people who we are going to call the thugs on this election day? I hope it's not going to be you and I. But the message is this: let's conduct ourselves in a manner. The major stakeholders, the INEC, the security agencies, we the political parties, we the leaders, and also the followers. And I pray that the Sunshine State will keep growing and growing as the case may be. Thank you and God bless you. Oh, very well. I thought I said it the other time. Our commitment as a party is that which will foster peace, unity, progress towards this election, during the election, and after the election as a party. Thank you and God bless us.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll call on the representative or the candidate of AAC. If you're here, can you please come forward? Mr. Kunle Ajayi.
Thank you so much. Kunle Ajayi is my name. I want to thank the organizers for organizing this. But I want to say that why do we only talk about peace during the elections? And we don't talk about peace before and after the elections. And that is why I want to tell the organizers of this program, my CP, and all other security agencies that are here, that in a state where, as at August 12, 2024, over 25,909 people are out of school, out of school children in Ondo State is over 25,000. That peace is an illusion. A state where we have on good authority that the state government used 775 million to do fence, that peace is an illusion. A state where during the elections, most of Ondo State people, a lot of people in Ondo State are quite poor. And my professor from Great Ife was talking about people buying votes and people selling votes. It is serious hunger that is making Nigerians sell their votes, because the current ruling party has removed subsidy and is giving us palliative. And palliative is like throwing water into the ocean. So as far as I'm concerned, if we really need peace in Ondo State, if we need peace during the elections, we need to work on the social issues, we need to work on the economic issues. You can't keep people being poor and you're talking of peace. You can't keep people uneducated and you're talking of peace. You can't keep people without health care and you talk of peace.
And we want your commitment to
These
peace.
are the ways we can have social justice.
Peace,
Thank you so much. To be committed
peace.
to peace as a political party, the African Action Congress, we want to say that the whole of the stakeholders in this election must also be committed to peace. We must all be allowed to use the parks, the venues in an affordable manner. That is the only way to be committed to peace. For our political party,